We're here outside the Dáil. We're here with Rosie Brennan, who's the mother of Jake Brennan. Jake lost his life last June. He was hit by a car outside his house. He lived in a housing estate in Kilkenny. We're here to launch Jake's Law, and what this does is create a mandatory speed limit of 20 kilometres per hour in private and public housing estates. So that means that you go very slowly into and very slowly out of housing estates, the places where our children live and play and chase each other and ride their bicycles. And we believe that this is a straightforward proposition, a very simple proposition, and a very necessary one. Rosie and Chris and her family have worked really hard to create a legacy for their son Jake. This is his legacy, this law, reducing the speed limit to 20 kilometres per hour. The Taoiseach, the Minister for Transport, Paschal Donoghue, the Minister for the Environment, Alan Kelly, the Minister for Children, James Riley, have all told Rosie and the family that they support Jake's campaign. So next week they have the chance to support Jake's Law, and they need to do that.
Lost my little boy back in the 12th of June 2014. He was crossing over to Little Green and he was knocked down. All I remember him was flying up in the air, and I suppose you don't have a child 6 years previous and you hold them and you have their whole life planned to think 6 years on that you're going to be the one holding them when they're leaving you. So the fear that I seen in his little face, I just wished, that my thing was that no other child would go through it. So I did reach out to Kathleen at the beginning for them to help me, and they did. They put a proposal forward, and Sinn Féin did, that even the bylaws be passed. But that's where then I found from the Minister for Transport that even, he said he recommended and he put out, and then it turned out there'd be 250,000 just to get the bylaw passed. So we thought that, okay, even if that was, but always from the beginning, Jake's legacy. When I spoke to Kathleen and David, we were always for 20. Because as we said earlier, that from the RSA studies, that it shows that less speed, less injuries. A car doing 50 kilometres, 5 in 10 will die if they're hit by it. A car doing 30 kilometres an hour, 1 in 10 will die. So it's a no-brainer, 20. You can teach your kids, and I taught my son. He got his little RSA in school. I taught him. I was standing there, so you can say even if you supervise, I was standing there. His daddy was standing there. His uncle was standing there. So I was supervising. I lived in a little cul-de-sac, and I did teach my child. Do you know what I mean? So the whole point is that kids will, if they say he ran out, which he didn't, but even if a child does run out or run after that ball, which they will do these mistakes, that they walk away from it. And this is what this 20 kilometres, this Jakey's Law is about. That kids can do these little mistakes and walk away from it and not go through what my child went through that day. The fear in his face is what pushes me along, and it's what I have to live with for the rest of my life.
Rosie last summer, and we did put in a motion at local council level, and it was supported by all the councillors unanimously. But the good thing about this bill is that it makes it mandatory. County council budgets, as everyone knows, are stretched, and they will, if they can if something is discretionary, it won't be top of the list. If this bill gets through, it's mandatory, and they will have to do something about it, and that's the key to it.